My wife, when I showed it to her, thought that I was trying to make a swastika. This project started, like some of my other projects have, when I was looking through somebody else's garbage for ideas. In this case, I stopped at a sign shop that I frequently drive past and found some pre-made aluminum letters. My kids have also been obsessed with these fidget spinners, so we have a few of them around the house. I decided to design my own with the double H for Hubbard's Handmade. After printing a simple design from Illustrator, I cut it out and used some spray adhesive to attach it to one of the aluminum letters. If you didn't already know, you can cut aluminum on woodworking tools as long as you go slow and use some oil to keep things cool. I used some 3-in-1. I used a center punch to mark where I was going to start the hole for my bearing, and a step bit to drill a hole in the center of the aluminum. I haven't done this before, so I applied liberal amounts of 3-in-1 oil just because I didn't want things to overheat. After cutting out the rest of the shape on the bandsaw, it was over to the belt sander to refine the edges all the way up to the lines of my printout. This project involved a lot of sanding, so I made sure to hook up my dust vacuum to try and keep the metal shavings to a minimum in my shop. It wasn't always possible to get the sanders in all of the fine shapes, so I used some hand files to finish refining the shape as much as possible. Even this far into the project, I was still pretty sure that I wanted to paint the spinner blue, but after seeing how the bare aluminum looked, I decided to remove the green paint that was on there and try to give it a shiny metallic look. I did eventually go back to the orbital sander to remove all the paint. Then I went over to the buffing wheel to try to give it that shiny metallic look I was going for. This white bar is a buffing compound that's used for polishing metal. I was holding on to the spinner for quite a while and my hands must have got tired because it went flying. Thank goodness no harm done. I used this old scrub top to remove some of the black buildup that comes from polishing and give it a final shine. When I compared the shiny surface to my original printout, I decided that I needed to add some spaces to differentiate the H's, otherwise it does just look like some strange shape. I used the calipers to get some evenly spaced lines and then a Dremel tool to rough out those lines. I was pretty happy at this point with how it looked, so I decided to glue in the bearing with some super glue. I wanted to make the H shape a little more obvious, so I painted those roughed out lines black. Well, here it is. Here is the double H Hubbard's Handmade spinner made from upcycled letters that were aluminum that were discarded at a local sign shop. My wife, when I showed it to her, thought that I was trying to make a swastika. So, where I had roughed up the metal, I darkened that with some black paint to hopefully differentiate the H's a little bit better. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I think the circle kind of, makes it difficult. And it also doesn't really spin that well. In fact, it spins better this way. I guess so that the H's are facing, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But it does do this. So, I don't think I'm really going to play with it. I mean, I don't really get it either. But it's kind of cool that I made it. I'm going to put it up somewhere and you'll see it in the background of videos, hopefully. Yeah. Thanks for watching.